We will share the 20 most common ways you're hurting your dog without even realizing it. From your diet to the way you play with them, there are many ways that you could be doing more harm than good. Knowing these things beforehand can help change your actions and really make sure you're doing everything that can be done to care for them. Number 1. Not feeding the right food. Your dog's diet can be one of the most important things when it comes to their health. Depending on the dog, it may be easy to tell if they're eating something that makes them sick, but many dogs can also have reactions to food over time. If you aren't feeding them high-quality food, you could be doing harm to your dog without even realizing it. These foods may include corn, soy, artificial coloring, or additives. This can cause different reactions in dogs, including allergies and digestive or liver problems. Number 2. Overfeeding. How many times have you heard someone say, "It's better to feed them more than not enough"? It isn't necessarily true. When you feed your dog, always pay attention to how much they're eating. Overfeeding is a very common mistake, and sometimes owners don't even realize they're doing it. A little extra on the table is fine, but too much food can lead to obesity that in turn can cause a lot of health problems. Just because your dog likes it more doesn't mean you should keep feeding them more and more. Number 3. Not giving them enough exercise. Just like you, dogs need exercise. It's that simple. You need to stay active and healthy, and so does your dog. Exercising helps relieve stress in your dog and makes them happier, more well-behaved, and have more energy. There are countless benefits of exercise, but one that many don't take seriously enough is the impact on their health. By exercising your dog, you could be helping it to live a long life. Number 4. Not socializing your puppy enough. It can be easy for a puppy to be quite timid around new people. However, being too shy can be a problem in adulthood as it could cause them to not behave properly around people and become anxious. Having no exposure to strangers at all can lead your dog to become quite anxious and afraid of anything that's outside of the norm. Make sure that you're taking your dog out enough so they can learn how to interact with others without being scared. Number 5. Not spending enough time with your dog. Sometimes it can be hard to spend a lot of time with your pup. Whether it's work or other obligations, it can sometimes get in the way of you spending quality time together. It's important to make sure that you're giving your dog attention as much as they need. Even if it's a quick walk or a nice game of fetch can do wonders for them. Try to be as consistent as you can and make sure that you're getting the interaction that they need. Number 6. Not training them. This is one of the most effective ways to make sure that they're getting the best care they can get. Even if it seems odd, training them is what gives them the best chance of making a good and happy life for themselves. It doesn't take long for most dogs to learn a simple trick, and if you're taking the time to do it, then it's definitely worth the effort. Making sure that they learn how to behave properly is one of the best things you can do for their health in the long run. Number 7. Feeding them human food. Many people think that it's okay to give their dog some of their own food, whether that's a treat or a proper meal. However, this kind of behavior can be harmful to your dog. Although they love human food, it could really hurt them in the long run by changing their behavior and potentially making them sick, even if it seems harmless. Make sure that you're only feeding them dog food and nothing else to keep them safe. Number 8. Treating them too harshly. Just as you don't want to be treated harshly, neither does your dog. When training a dog, we always have bad days and good days. However, being too harsh on the bad days could be doing more harm than good. It's important to keep your dog motivated and wanting to cooperate. If you're treating them too harshly, then that could deter them from trying very hard in the future. Always make sure that you're being as gentle as possible when training your dog. It's not just for their liking, but it's also to protect the bond that you have. Number 9. Hitting them. There are many ways to correct a dog without having to physically hit them and cause them harm. Hitting a dog can cause fear and anxiety, as well as resentment to you. If your dog is doing something wrong, it's better to correct them with a simple no or down and avoid hurting them. Number 10. Leaving them in their crate too long. Just as humans can get carsick, dogs can too. A dog might love being in their crate, but if you leave them there for too long, it could make them nauseous or uncomfortable. Not only that, but leaving your dog in their crate for too long can also make them anxious or lonely. Make sure you're only keeping them in there for a few hours and not all day. Number 11. Praising them too much. Whenever your dog does something good, you want to make sure you're praising them. However, being too overbearing with it can cause some issues as well. Your dog might start to get bored or resentful of the attention they're getting, and it could reduce their desire to perform tasks and get praise. Make sure that you're only praising what they do right, not everything that they do in general. Number 12, not trimming their nails regularly. Just like you need your nails trimmed for your own comfort, so does your dog. If a dog's nails grow long enough, it could hurt them as well as you. If you're walking them outside and their nails are too long, this could be quite painful to walk on the pavement or other hard surfaces. Make sure that you're always making sure their nails are trimmed properly so they can be comfortable in their everyday life and so they're not causing you any harm. Number 13, using shock collars. Shock collars are a very controversial topic among dog owners and dog trainers. Some people think that they're perfectly fine, and others still think that it could cause a lot of harm to your dog. The key thing about this kind of collar is that you should only use it when necessary and not as a form of training. If you're using it to simply reinforce commands, then that's okay. However, if you're using it for training purposes only, i.e., barking, then that could be potentially dangerous and harmful for your dog. Number 14, not grooming them properly. Just as you wouldn't want to be unkempt, neither does your dog. Grooming your dog properly is not only important for their hygiene, but it's also good for them psychologically as they enjoy it. You should take the time to groom them once a week or so, and make sure that you're using the right kind of brush. Brushing them properly will make them have less hair in their mouth, which can be quite problematic for many dogs. Number 15, chaining a dog. No matter the size, chaining your dog up is very harmful to their mental and physical health. Dogs are pack animals, and they deserve to be able to socialize with other dogs and humans whenever possible. If you chain your dog up, they're going to feel lonely, depressed, and most likely stressed out. This stress can cause them to lash out constantly at other dogs or people in the area, resulting in aggression issues that can be very dangerous. Number 16, feeding them bad food. When it comes to feeding your dog, there are some things that you need to be especially careful about. If you're feeding your dog food that's full of preservatives or foods that are really bad for them, it's going to affect their health over time. This can be hard to tell because a dog might not have a reaction immediately when they eat something that's bad for them, but it can really cause problems down the road if it continues. Number 17, exposing your dog to strong smells. Dogs have a very sensitive sense of smell, and exposing them to strong smells, such as perfume or cologne, can make it much harder for them to smell things that are truly important, such as food or fire. Keeping them away from these strong smells will help keep them safe, especially if you're going to be leaving the house for long periods of time. Number 18, neglecting their teeth. Dental disease is a growing problem for dogs, and many veterinarians see it as the #1 growing problem for dogs today. It's important to brush your dog's teeth at least once a week and be vigilant when they're eating to make sure they don't get any harmful bacteria or food caught in their teeth. It can be hard to notice tooth problems early on because it often starts with inflammation that goes unnoticed. If you notice your dog starting to gag when eating or have a bad breath odor, it might be time to take them in for a checkup. Number 19, neglecting breed-specific health issues. Dogs come in many different shapes and sizes, which can be good and bad. Different breeds have different health issues that they're more susceptible to than others. For instance, the Akita and Shiba Inu are both high-energy dogs that are prone to health issues such as hip dysplasia. If you own one of these breeds, it's very important to take them to a vet at least once or twice a year in order to monitor their health and ensure that your dog is getting the best care possible for their specific needs. Number 20, leaving your dog alone in the car. Leaving your dog in the car on a hot day is never a good idea. It doesn't matter if they're in an air-conditioned car or not. Leaving a dog in the car can cause some serious harm. It's important to note that even with the windows open and the air conditioner on, it's still not safe for them to be alone in the car. Enjoyed this video? Tell us your thoughts in the comment. We'd love to hear them.